Hi guys, in this video, I'll do two types of essay outlining practice with a non-written text of infographic. This text is from IB English A, Language and Literature, Paper 1. And as we all know, structuring a Paper 1 essay with a given text can have various forms. So I only recommend you to check the ways that I shall compose the essay and refer to them when it comes to finding your best fit. Then, here we go. All right, here we are given the latest English A Paper 1 non-written text, which is an infographic. It seems quite straightforward and coherent to understand the main topic. On top of everything, what we have to check the very first is the guiding question discuss how different features are used in this infographic to achieve the author's purpose. Okay. And after that, we are supposed to check the source of this infographic. Oh, yeah, this one, the source is given at the very bottom. Considering the nature of the given guiding question, I reckon we can have two straightforward ways to analyze the text and to compose the essay. First is to focus on the purpose of the essay. And next would be about focusing on the different features being used. Then let me start with the first way. First way is constructing essay by focusing on purpose. For this case, 3 different purposes of the infographic so that I can compose 3 different bodies. Before that, it's fairly important to sort out the intro content first. I need to identify the source. It is an infographic released from the Institute for Transportation and Development Policy, which is ITDP. This is an organization from UC Davis that consults implementing high-quality transportation systems and related policies around the world. Obviously, you guys can shorten this one. I just brought all the holistic information. And target audience. And this infographic has a bit of unique target audience. It is targeting mostly city governors and officials from like city's transportation department or related department, and largely administrators from government offices. Purpose is to promote both pragmatic and sustainable benefits of constructing bicycle use-friendly cities and to recommend applicable policies. I compose the thesis according to the 3 purposes that I am going to use. So with the clear agenda of promoting e-bike usage, the infographic utilizes diverse visual and linguistic strategies to effectively and persuasively approach the targeted audience. Body 1. How would I name the first purpose? I would say the first purpose of the infographic is to alarm the current state of transportation usage that require changes. And I have both visual and language features that I can support my first purpose. Not my purpose, to be fair, the infographics purpose. So visually, I am going to bring, obviously, the bicycle icon, city map showing bicycle journey that can be much more widely adopted by the people, because actually we take relatively short journey most of the time. So don't use private vehicle, rather adopt more bicycle. You know, that's what they recommend with the visual image. And one more noticeable evidence, visual evidence, is this one. The globe image, the globe icon with a tiny slice, bike. Only 7% of urban trips are done with bicycles. We can definitely make it increase by 23%. we can. That's what they say. This language evidences, I definitely have to analyze lots of logos languages, such as numbers and statistics that they are bringing to persuade the governors, and impressive dictions, such as huge potential we have, things like that. I want to point out them. Lastly, I also want to bring the word choices, like comparison word, more, less, like giving some comparisons. And let's not forget to connect those features to support the infographics purpose in the conclusion of this body one. Second purpose of this infographic that I can think of would be to educate the feasible changes that can be achieved. City governors haven't really understood how much can be changed or what can be actually changed. So the infographic is trying to educate them by using visual evidences such as bar charts that are showing clear and stark changes, obviously. I can point them out. Color scheme, I personally found it very clever. Green juxtaposed with gray. Like we normally connotate gray with something eco-friendly and positive things, gray something pollutive, negative. So they are giving such a contrast between the green and gray, say that if we do something, if we actually transform our city into be more bicycle friendly, then we can achieve green one. We can like somehow avoid grays, you know. I think that's the intention of this infographic. Before and after, before gray, after green. Even for the language usage, the infographic is using pronoun we, somehow promote the community spirit or some cooperative spirit. We can do it, let's do this, things like this. Also, we can't neglect the ethos of the professionals HSC scenario. They're giving some professional scenario. Yeah, make it persuasive. Last thing is the same for the concluding sentence of the body two. Connect them to highlight the second purpose. Last purpose of this infographic is to call an action, obviously, with specific suggestions that they can think of. So visually, it is very, very intuitive and comprehensive. Build, implement, like they are showing what to do clearly, you know. So visual is here, and I already just said it, but even for the language evidences, I can say the suggestions, the solutions are given with very active verbs: build, implement, invest, adopt, remove, plan, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then finish this one again with rephrasing the purpose. Main body plannings are done. Then how about a conclusion? Along with the rephrasing of the thesis that I already wrote in the introduction, what we have to do one more in conclusion is evaluation. I personally reckon that the infographic could be more persuasive if they can identify specific sources that they can save such huge cost, such as from where, how can the cities save more cost from fuel, or can they save from less traffic congestion or things like that. But they just say they can spend they can save $25 trillion, but I think to be more persuasive to the governors, they must be more like, you know, statistically appealing. One more evaluation that I can have is most of the solutions that they suggest, actually they're good, they're decent. However, they're not very feasible to most of the mega cities or most of the cosmopolitan cities where the infrastructure and facilities are mostly already congested and packed and just built fully established or things like that. So that to such governors or to such cities officials, maybe adopting such solution can be rather more costly and not that realistic to replace things like that. All right, so far is the end of the first way of essay outlining according to the 3 different purposes. Purpose number 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Next is to use 3 different features, 3 different design features to compose the essay. The same intro information would be given, present, target audience, purpose, the same. I changed the thesis into the way that I can match with my new structure. So it says via the active adoption of diverse language, visual features, and composing content with a cohesive structure, the infographic intends to effectively promote an e-bike-friendly city environment. Yes. So if you read my thesis, then you're gonna expect that, okay, the body 1 is gonna be about language, body 2 is gonna be about visual features, body 3 will be about structure. That's how thesis works. Then body 1 will be about the language features. So first, logos, numbers, stats, diction, which the one that I already have pointed out from the first way. Diction, pronoun, we. Then I'm going to link the language features. How do they work to support the infographics purpose? Done with the body 1, body 2, predictably, visual features. Yeah, city map, journey, globe icon with tiny slice, multiple bar chart, color scheme. And then, just like the body 1, I'm going to connect how such visual features being used to support the infographics purpose. Last body paragraph is going to focus on structuring of this infographic. So body 3 structure. First, it starts with, how does it start? It starts with informing what's the current state of e-bike usage to somehow intrigue the audience. So I can bring some quote of in every country or like what's going on. Yeah, those kind of evidence. Next, how does the infographic continue to work on? Followingly, it is trying to persuade and giving impression to the city governors and officials about what can be changed and how much can be changed. So I'm going to use the evidence of like we could avoid and we can say, or these kind of evidence from the infographic. Last structure is having this content. The infographic says to realize the change, what should be done, giving next step solutions, right? As we already have checked, the infographic is providing intuitive and quite comprehensively understandable icons so that the targeted audience can know what's next, things like that. And the conclusion content are the same. After you rephrase the thesis, you can point out some potential evaluation point, which is the same one from the first way. But if you can think of something else, please do include. Yes. Yeah, what a long journey. Oh yes, this is the end. If you have come to this much far, thank you so much. And I hope this video will be a bit of help to your IB English A Page 1 revision. Thank you. Bye.